What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. We are back here once again, and you already know what time it is. It is that time to bust that rhyme and talk about that slime. Some grit and some grime has gone down. What up, though? Just a fan. Let's get it out the way. One thing's for certain, and three things for sure when you see me in front of your TV. Number one, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two, we came to give you stats, none of that static. Number three, perhaps the most important number of them all, number three. Want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. You may be asking yourself, how, Don? How in these trying times does one keep their Lion news pragmatic? Well, it's very simple. I'm going to tell you. You know I don't hide things from you. It's the truth. Smash the like button. Subscribe. Share with your peoples. And once you've done those three things, in any order, it doesn't matter. You've indeed kept your Lions news pragmatic. And since we're talking about your peoples and sharing is caring, once you've shared this with your mothers, your brothers, your fathers, sisters, your cousins, your uncles, your brothers, your fathers, sisters, your mothers, your fathers, your Fredo, you name it. You name it. You have indeed cared about these people. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. In the immortal words of the AT aliens, in the immortal words of Southern playalistic Cadillac funkatistic, in the immortal words, we got to say, damn, 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 dang, dang. Terrion doing stuff, yeah, he ain't got no business doing. Allegedly. What up, though, everybody in the chat? What up, though, Flying Hawaiian? What up, though, Just Fair? What up, though, Dr. Detroit? No, Flying Hawaiian. It ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. The title is Cam Sutton and Terrion Arnold walk into a bar because they're walking in there together. Because apparently, allegedly, they are two peas right out of the same pod. Do y'all remember all that stuff that it came out and it was like, somebody that was Terrion's cousin may have robbed somebody? It says sound like Bill Cosby. Sometimes I do sometimes I slip into the cars, but I don't slip nothing into drinks. You understand what I'm saying? You remember when Terrion did all that, right? Or he didn't do it. He had a cousin and a friend who apparently did some things because some things got stolen, and they wanted to go do the OJ thing and get that stuff back. Well, as that seemed to be water under the bridge, Terrion wasn't even like, he was allegedly, what was he? Tied to the situation. Well, before we get into his actual ties, I want to hear from Coach Shep right quick. Kelvin Shepard says, I need Terrion Arnold to be quiet and just play. The Detroit Lions are going to need their young cornerbacks to play at a high level in order for Kelvin Shepard's defense to have any sort of shot at success in 2026. Cornerback Terrion Arnold had an up and down sophomore campaign and did not finish the season due to a shoulder injury. Speaking with a small group of reporters at the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine, Shepard was asked by Lions on SI what the former Alabama Crimson Tide defensive back needed to accomplish this upcoming season. I need him to be quiet and just play, Shepard said, which you're going to need a lot more than being quiet and just playing. We're going to get into that in a second. You're going to need a lot more than that. Smiling, but also emphasizing that will be key to get some more production from the former first-round NFL draft pick, maybe former NFL player. We're going to get into it. Arnold is outspoken and hosts a podcast, but supporters and the Lions coaching staff are ready for him to take a leap forward out on the field. You guys know, I don't know if the media would like that, because I'm sure TA gives you guys a lot of things to write on, but no, I talked to he calls me too much, says Shepard. But that kid, he has a great heart, man. We're going to see how great the heart is in a second. He wants to be great, man. But I told him it's a difference in talking about being great and actually being great. And he's starting to understand that. There's also a difference between talking about plays that you could have taken away and you would have gotten less yardage put up on you instead of just not allowing the players on the field. And then it's the difference. It's the difference, Shep. Take your own advice. It comes with maturity. Shepard commented further, these are young kids, and I'm not making excuses, but that's what you do, Shep. You make excuses. They are, and I remind myself now, I wasn't that talkative probably, but I remind myself now how I was when I was 22, 23 years old and how much they don't understand. And they think they do. I think the unique perspective I have is I know that. So I try to meet them halfway. But at the same time, TA knows I'm going to be very demanding of him this year. You may not have the chance to be demanding of him this year. I just want to let you know that, Shep. In year 3, the coaching staff is going to be even more demanding, given the defense must perform better than last season. It's no more of this. He's still a puppy. No. He's not. He's expected to play at a high level. He's doing things right to make sure his body's in condition and in shape to be able to do it for the long haul and to make sure we're not on the roller coaster this year. Make sure it's consistent play. He's getting better in the shape. Defensive back coach Deshae Townsend, to me, is one of the best I've ever seen and have been around as far as developing that position. So I know he's in good hands. My Shep accent today, my Shep impression it's not as spot on as it was yesterday. I don't know what happened. All right. But this is what Coach Shep had to say about Terrion Arnold at the scouting combine. Now, there's some other people that got some other things to say. About Terrion Arnold. Okay. Now let me get to your comments a little bit before, Dr. Detroit says, I'm out on the Lions this year unless Brad does some drastic-ish. TA may not be a bust, but he may get busted. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, but then TA would start yapping and Cam would have to let him know what's up. See, I'm gonna show you what it's about. Remember Cam Sutton's legal troubles. Brad Holmes seems not too smart about character selection. Well, we can't deal with turds and stuff, but that's why we can't get somebody like Max Crosby, who's apparently a turd and he's not going to fit in the locker room. That's what I heard. We need to grab the center Commanders just released. We'll talk about it. All right. Here we go. That was what Coach Shep had to say about Terrion Arnold. Now, I'm just going to hit you with the headline. From those of you that don't know, I had to go ahead and subscribe to Detroit News so I could get this. From Nolan Bianchi of the Detroit News. Lions Terrion Arnold tied to robbery, kidnapping in court order. It's about to get spicy like the meatball. So just buckle up, strap in. If y'all ain't got your popcorn, go get it. And here we go. All right. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold's name has surfaced in a Florida court order detailing the orchestration of an armed robbery and kidnapping that took place shortly after midnight on February 4th in Tampa. I'm gonna do my best newscaster's voice, all right? The allegations mentioning Arnold were included in a 7-page order from Hillsborough County Circuit Judge J. Logan Murphy that granted the state's motion for a pretrial detention against Bokai Hilton. It's Boakai. I think that's Bokai. Bokai Hilton, who is alleged to have planned the kidnapping and robberies during a car ride with Arnold in relation for a pair of thefts that occurred at Arnold's rental home in Largo, Florida, a few days prior. How am I doing with the newscaster voice? I'm doing good? All right. The February 24th order stated that the armed robbery and kidnapping were a direct result of Arnold and his friends deciding to take matters into their own hands after Arnold's rental home was robbed twice. While traveling in a car with Arnold back from Tallahassee, Hilton orchestrates the ambush, according to the order. Arnold, 22, has not been charged or arrested by authorities, according to online court records. Prior to the incident on February 4th, Arnold was a victim of 2 robberies in which thieves stole high-end bags, guns, jewelry, a cell phone, and $100,000 in cash. According to a police report filed by Arnold with the Largo Police Department on February 3rd. Hold up, bro. Hold the phone. I didn't know this man filed a police report. You filed a police report? What is wrong with you? You filed a police report, and then in an active, open police investigation into your things getting stolen, these dudes wind up kidnapped. I'm sorry. I had to take a walk right quick. I had to take a walk. Let's continue. All right. Arnold's agency did not immediately respond to a request for comment. What the Florida court order says, this is the juicy stuff. Okay. The order stated that Arnold, a 2024 first-round pick by the Lions, hired a man named Jan Lopez to be his private driver and transport Arnold and his friends to and from the Airbnb he rented in Largo. Lopez, who regularly drives for celebrities, introduced his friend Daniel Tedesca to Arnold with hopes that Tedesca could ride his coattails to become a celebrity barber. Arnold's Airbnb was robbed twice while Lopez was working for him and his friends, according to the order. Arnold began to suspect that Lopez may have had a hand in the burglaries, Murphy wrote. And though they had reported the theft to Largo authorities, Arnold and his friends decided to take matters into their own hands. Though they had reported the theft to the authorities, they decided to take matters into their own hands. Do I need to take another walk? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Somebody robbed me. Help! Police! Police! Help! Now I'm gonna go take matters in my own hands. You don't call the police if you're gonna take matters into your own hands. You've created your own paper trail leading back to you. You filed a police report and then went and did some thuggish after filing a police report on the matter. Talk about snitching on yourself. My God. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. The order alleges that text messages show Ariana Del Valle, who is said in the document to be Arnold's girlfriend, instructing Jasmine Randazzo to lure Tedesca, who had expressed romantic interests in Randazzo, to her apartment in Tampa. Del Valle allegedly told Randazzo to act as bait, with promises that Arnold and his friends would pay Randazzo for doing so, the order said. On text message, in text, none of y'all are smart. You don't do this over text messages. They find text messages. They don't find phone calls because they're not tapped unless they're tapping them. But there was no reason to tap the phone calls. But you guys did it over text because Gen Z or whatever the generation is, you guys are stupid. All the paper trails, all of the paper trails, all of them. You filed a police report after your stuff got stolen. So you wanted to report your stuff stolen. That's a paper trail. And then y'all was exchanging text messages about what to do. That's another paper. God. Anyway, let's continue. Tedesco arrived at the apartment with a friend, Soldier Anderson. Soljah. Soldier is this person's name. I just wanted to, it's spelled right here on the paper in front of me, or not the paper, but the screen in front of me. It says Soljah. This man's name is Soldier. I can't make it up. Soldier Anderson. While the third victim, Lopez, waited in the car. According to the order, Delvell greeted them and said Randazzo was not home. Thinking it was a joke, Tedesco and Anderson began searching the home for Randazzo. Upon opening a closet door in a bedroom, defendants Lindell Hudson and Christian Williams jumped out, both holding weapons. Hudson was armed with an AR rifle. That's an assault rifle, for those of you who don't know. And Williams had a semi-automatic firearm, according to the motion from a pretrial detention hearing for Hudson, and took Tedesco and Anderson hostage in the bedroom, interrogating, beating, and pistol whipping them for the better part of an hour, Murphy's order said. Lopez grew suspicious of the wait and entered the apartment before immediately being pistol whipped and taken to the bedroom with Tedesco and Anderson. The document said, at this point, the motion from Hudson's pretrial hearing said Delvell began a live stream on her phone to broadcast the interactions. Randazzo, who originally invited the victims over, joined the stream to watch and direct actions against the victims. There, one of the defendants stuck the barrel of his firearm into Lopez's mouth, demanding he return the stolen property and Arnold's phone before the victims left. Before the victims left, the co-defendants took their phones and wallets. Judge Murphy wrote, this was all done ostensibly to get Lopez, Tedesco, and Anderson to admit that they stole the property from the Airbnb, which they never do. They never admitted it. Okay. The judge's order added text messages between Delvell and Randazzo show that Delvell has been instructed to hold the victims in the bedroom until Terrion and Bokai and Fredo arrive at the apartment complex. As soon as the victims are in the bedroom, Hilton instructed Delvell to video the encounter on FaceTime, and Hilton asks her multiple times to turn the camera and get closer so that he can see and hear the kidnapping, according to the order. In total, the violent incident is alleged to have lasted about 2 hours, according to the motion that granted pretrial detention for Hudson. At approximately 2 a.m., after the defendants had stolen wallets, phones, jackets, cash, and jewelry from the victims, totaling $6,260, they escorted the victims out of the residence at gunpoint and forced them into their vehicles before fleeing the scene, but not before Bokai arrived and was identified by one of the victims. Who has been arrested so far? Hilton is the fifth person known to have been arrested in connection with the incident. Delvell was arrested on February 4th, the same day the charges occurred, and Randazzo was arrested on February 6th. Hudson and Williams were both arrested on February 12th. Hudson was detained by the U.S. Marshals Task Force working in conjunction with the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, while Williams was arrested by the Tampa Police Fugitive Apprehension Unit, working in conjunction with the U.S. Marshals Task Force. Delvell and Randazzo are each charged with 3 counts of armed robbery and 3 counts of kidnapping. Hudson and Williams are each charged with 3 counts of armed robbery, 3 counts of armed kidnapping, and a charge of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The penalty in Florida for armed robbery ranges from 10 years in prison for carrying a gun in the commission of that crime to life imprisonment if someone is seriously injured or killed. Kidnapping is punishable by up to life in prison. The Lions declined to comment on the matter on Thursday. The criminal investigation involving Arnold is the latest involving a professional athlete in Detroit and is emerging 8 months after the Detroit News reported FBI agents had launched a wire fraud investigation of Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley related to gambling and prop bets. The gambling probe shed light on Beasley's personal financial problems, which the news reported including $8 million in debts, such as being sued twice by his Detroit landlord and having part of his Pistons paycheck seized. After the gambling investigation surfaced, the Pistons decided against signing Beasley in free agency. No criminal charges have been filed against Beasley, whose attorney said he had been cleared by the feds, and he is reportedly going to play for a team in Puerto Rico. Oh boy. So Cam Sutton and Terrion Arnold walk into a bar, right? This is crazy. All right, let's I'm gonna go to your comments. I don't know what to say. One more time. Anyone can put their best foot forward. If all you see is some college game tape and interview a few people, you'd be forgiven for not finding out every last little thing about a person. No, that's true, right? You can't know a person until you know a person. It's absolutely true, 100%. Same, I'm still a fan, but we're looking like a wild card first round exit team. Ryan's reaction, what up, though? Bunch of BS, says Flying Hawaiian. All of this is alleged. Terrion hasn't been arrested, but it don't look good unless he's paying people to do time, right? His whole paycheck needs to go to those people. It'd be like Terrion is over here living in Section 8. You know what I'm saying? Why is he living in Section 8? Because his money's gone. He had to pay hush money to everybody. TA equals dumbass. That's some dumbass stuff right there. What up, though, Brent DeWitt? The DJCI, he's not charged nor arrested. Y'all falling for clickbait. Okay, cool. It's a court order. So that's what we're talking about. If you're above the court order, cool. No problem. Lions Raw Detroit says, wow. This is not a good look. It's not a good look at all. What up, though? What up, though, Lions Raw Detroit? Why is the judge speaking on someone not charged or arrested, though? It's a court order. It's a court order. It's a court order. You know what I'm saying? Sounds like the reporters should have learned all this before making it public. I don't know what you mean. Terrion, come on, man. Right shift. This is what I'm talking about. So, dude, what did I miss? Oh, you missed a lot. Oh, he finna busted. All right. Yeah. See, reporter added the piece about not being charged or arrested to his post because it was deep in the article and got called out for it. Oh, well, I knew he wasn't charged or arrested in the beginning. So, yeah. This is where I see a Jamel Dean signing coming in now if they don't draft the CB, but both could happen. Yeah. Broadcasting a crime, really smart people. Exactly. Assault rifle. Arnold is in charge or arrested. Yeah, we know it's alleged. He's innocent until proven guilty. We're reporting the news. Okay, it's off season. Cleared by the feds, but not by the NBA. That is true. I mean, we all know what happened. It's just a matter of if he is actually gets charged due to actual evidence. Those are facts, right? I'd be over here like, I don't know these people, detective. You know what I'm saying? Judge, I've never met these people in my life. Get them out of my sight. Okay. We're gonna move on. We got some combine stuff to talk about. That was wild and that was crazy. All I'm gonna say is this. Terrion, if you really were involved in this, stupid is not even the word that I can use. First of all, why did you have $100,000 cash at a rental property? Were you going to the strip club? What did you have $100,000 cash out for? That's the question for me. And then if you had $100,000 cash and you had this designer stuff, jewelry, all this expensive stuff, and you're letting randoms come into your rental property, some random dude that wants to be a celebrity barber that you've never seen before, and you just got all this stuff laying around, it's not your fault that you got robbed. That's not what I'm trying to say. You need to be smarter about stuff. Like, you don't just let people in your, like, this is a random. You don't know him. You can't trust him. You got $100,000 in cash. You are a target. You are an NFL player, right? Remember there was a Joe Burrow's house got robbed, right? Didn't Patrick Mahomes' house get robbed? People's houses are getting robbed when they're away. You're letting some randoms into your house. It's not even your house. It's an Airbnb, which again, why do you have $100,000 out in an Airbnb? What did you need to do with $100,000 that you had to have it at your Airbnb? I just don't understand. Those dudes showed up to get Terrion's stuff back, but Terrion had nothing to do with it, LMAO. They filed a police report first. So what Terrion needs to do is deny all of this stuff. Del Valle, whoever that is, his girlfriend, has to take the fall and say that she was falsely using his name to Rendazzo and telling her that she was going to pay her, but she was really mad because some of the bags that got stolen were hers. So she did, she's got to fall on the sword. She's got to look like the mastermind, and she's got to take the fall. And she's going to get 10 years, whatever. But when she comes out, she'll have a couple M's in her bank account, because other than that, it's a bunch of people that are going to cooperate against Terrion. They're still going to go to jail. They're still going to go to prison because they did it. And they're the only ones with evidence of it being done, right? Terrion just stands to lose a whole hell of a lot more than all of those people. If you're a professional athlete, this is a PSA. If you're a professional athlete, and you've got a lot to lose, and the people that you're hanging around are losers, stop it. Get new friends. That's it. That's all I got to say. He had $100,000 in cash because he wanted to be flashy. Well, I mean, it's what happened. You miss a lot, Mark Garcia. You missed a whole lot. The only place you should have $100,000 is in the bank. Ever heard of a credit card? Yeah, I don't even use cash, and I don't have anywhere near the amount of money that he has at all. Okay, but I don't even use cash. Like, I don't know when's the last time I went to an ATM and removed cash from my bank account. It's all card for me. It's all tap and pay. All right. let's move on. Mark Garcia, you're gonna have to rewind, brother, because we went over a whole thing. All right. Combine stuff. Detroit Lions meeting with prospects. They met with some linebackers. They met with some edge rushers. Things of this nature. So, just 1 hour ago, Detroit Lions on SI wrote about this court order, but I'm the guy that's, spreading misinformation. Okay, cool. All right, no problem. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is one that we needed to look into. I forgot I wanted to cover this one with you. The Terrion Arnold thing was just a lot. Okay. NFLTradeRumors.co. Lions running back David Montgomery mulling potential trade request. Lions GM Brad Holmes previously told reporters they would at least consider trading running back David Montgomery right when the season ended in January. Montgomery put up career lows in rushing attempts and total touches despite playing every game in 2025. As the Lions began to give running back Jahmyr Gibbs the majority of the work, at the scouting combine, Holmes said he's had a recent healthy dialogue with Montgomery and his agent, as the veteran is deciding whether to push for a trade or remain with the Lions. Holmes praised Montgomery and said they'd love to have him back, though it's still a developing situation. We love David. He's a great player. We'd love to have him, Holmes said via ESPN. We love David. He's a great player. We'd love to have him, Holmes said via ESPN. Eric Woodyard, kind of want to put last year in the rear view. And I'm over here, detective. And just move forward. But obviously, a player has to want to be at a certain place as well. So those conversations are still fluid, and we'll just see how it goes. I don't know why I was inspired to do the Key and Peele voice for Brad Holmes, but it is what it is. It's happening. You can't do anything about it now. The toothpaste is out of the tube. You can't put it back in. So that is the Brad Holmes voice. So if I ever do Brad Holmes, impersonation without that voice, remind me, Brad Holmes' voice must be put on. All right. Detroit head coach Dan Campbell shared the same sentiment regarding Montgomery, citing the talks Holmes mentioned. He has confidence they will figure out a resolution to make everyone happy for 2026. It's worth noting Montgomery is under contract through 2027 and is scheduled to carry cap $8.37 million in 2026 and $10.25 million in 2027. Should the Lions make a trade, they will have a $4.86 million in dead cap to take on, and they would save $3.5 million in 2026 cap space if he's traded before June 1st. But certainly he knows how I feel. New offensive coordinator Drew Petzing loves him. I mean, who wouldn't? This guy, he's a heck of a bat, Campbell said, and so we'll see where everything's at. Certainly, the people, they need to stop directly quoting Dan Campbell. Just give a summary or a synopsis, like smooth it out. Stop with the direct quotes. What was he trying to say? Okay? Because Dan Campbell, his talk is for speech only. It's not for print. Certainly there's been healthy conversations. I'm sure Brad told you guys, probably mentioned that. So all good, man. David's a pro, so we'll figure this out. Montgomery, 28, was drafted by the Bears in the third round out of Iowa State in 2019. He played out his 4-year rookie contract worth $4.015 million and was allowed to walk as a free agent by Chicago. The Lions signed Montgomery to a 3-year, $18 million deal last year before signing him to a 2-year deal last year before signing him to a 2-year, 18 million. I think that's wrong. In 2025, Montgomery appeared in 17 games for the Lions and rushed for 716 yards on 158 carries, 4.5 yards per carry, and 8 touchdowns to go along with 24 receptions for 192 yards. We will have more on Montgomery as it becomes available. I didn't see anything in there about David Montgomery himself mulling over a trade request. So that indeed was clickbait. Got. Can Lions get Cam Sutton back? They probably could. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? Yeah, you're spreading it to 8 other people. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? There's a whole heck of a lot more than 8 people in here. I'm just saying. All right. Prospects. What is that? I don't know. All right. So here's Detroit Lions on SI. Best things we heard about Lions draft prospects at Combine Day 1. The NFL Scouting Combine kicked off on Tuesday with general manager and head coaches. What the frick is this? Taking the podium to talk their 2026 plans. On Wednesday, it was time for prospects to take the podium prior to taking the field on Thursday. With the linebackers, specialists, and defensive linemen claiming the microphone, it was time for the players to let out some of their personality. Here are the best quotes from Detroit Lions draft prospects on day 1 of the 2026 Scouting Combine. All right. Georgia linebackers, CJ Allen. So these are people who are obviously purported to be or thought to be on the Detroit Lions draft board. So we got to see what they say. Georgia linebacker CJ Allen says, I think I just have a superpower, the ability to make guys around me better on and off the field. I think just playing with the guys and me in the middle, it elevates the guys around me, if that makes sense. And it's the same thing for off the field. So Georgia linebacker CJ Allen has superpowers. You can call him Superman if you want. I know I won't. Oregon linebacker Bryce Bocher. I think that's how you pronounce his name. If I am butchering your name, Mr. Bocher, please don't be offended. Baseball. You have to be nonchalant and relaxed, which is great. That's the part of the game you have to be. But football, you can't be nonchalant, relaxed, or you get your helmet knocked off, man. So I like how they're different, and that's the fun part about it. Bocher was a multi-sport athlete playing baseball at Oregon. Texas Tech linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. Is he any relation to Malcolm Rodriguez? I don't know. Playing defense, you got to play with a lot of effort. It's kind of mandatory. Get to the ball, try to finish, and take that ball away. Inspiring words from young Jacob Rodriguez. Florida defensive lineman Caleb Banks. Is he any relation to Phillip Banks? Hashtag if you know, use the hashtag. Oh, you know, Carlton Banks, Hillary Banks, Vivian Banks, Ashley Banks, Phillip Banks. Come on. All right. Anyway, I feel like I have the ability to play from the zero to the 9 technique all around. One of the best defensive tackles. I feel like in this class, I definitely get pressure up the middle. That's me. That's what I do. Caleb Banks, you are a Detroit Lion. Because instead of drafting an edge, we'll probably draft you round number 1. So you can get pressure up the middle. Missouri edge, Zion Young. I was just mad at the time. I was like, I'm going to have to just run through his face. He ain't respect what I was feeling. I tried to stab from him. I had to switch it up. I wanted to go right back. I'm like, nah. There was a couple guys right behind him. I'm like, nah. I got to go get it. I got to go again. I think he's talking about the Senior Bowl. It's out of context. It's not. It's just a quote. It's just a quote. It's the best things that we heard from the prospects, right? Indiana linebacker Aiden Fisher. Expect a lot of confidence from him. Fernando Mendoza, who's he talking about? That's just the guy he is. For me, I'm a routine-based guy. So it would be the same thing for me that I did throughout college and hopefully learn from some vets to implement into my system and my routine of getting ready for games. That'd be a blessing to have a scenario, but I can't give away too many details. I don't want to tell them anything. Awesome. Aiden Fisher, awesome. Buffalo linebacker Red Murdoch. So many linebackers. But it is the linebackers' time to talk, so that's why there's so many linebackers. Intent and pain tolerance. My own pain tolerance, these knuckles, they messed up for sure on the key to taking away the ball. Murdoch broke Khalil Mack's record for forced fumbles in an NCAA career. That's a Dan Campbell guy, if I ever heard of one. Red Murdoch. Remember the name. Red Murdoch. We couldn't get Khalil Mack, but maybe we can get Red Murdoch. I'm just saying. Cincinnati linebacker Jake Golday, not Galladay, Golday. So no, they're not related. I was a speed rusher, played stand-up DN at Central Arkansas for about 2 years. All these things learned playing DN has helped me become who I am today. Great hand usage, pass rusher, whatever it might be. Cincinnati linebacker Jake Golday used to be a speed rusher. All right. North Carolina State defensive lineman Brandon Cleveland. I'm relentless, violent. I like to stop the run. That's what I love to do the most. Ole Miss defensive lineman Xavier. It's ZX. I guess it's supposed to be Xavier Harris. The program is going to blast off under PG, Pete Golding. It's going to be way better than what Kiffin had done to it for sure. Throwing some shade at old Lane Kiffin. All right, Texas Tech defensive line Skylar Gill Howard. Wrestling teaches leverage. Sounds like Roy Lopez. Especially for a shorter guy like me. I learned how to move around guys from a young age, and I think that's helped me throughout my career. This is exactly Roy Lopez. It also teaches resiliency because wrestling is one of the hardest sports where you have to work for. Those workouts I used to go through high school, man, it teaches you a different type of resiliency and grit. That is like almost exactly what Roy Lopez said. Almost exactly. Almost word for word what Roy Lopez said. Texas Tech defensive lineman Skylar Gill Howard, keep an eye out for him, especially if we don't bring Roy Lopez back in free agency. UCLA DL Gary Smith III. I'm even keel until we get on the field. As soon as we get on the field and I put that helmet on, I turn into a whole different monster. All right. Duke Edge, VJ Anthony. I'm pretty decent, pretty good at the sacks. I need to pick it up. Haven't done it in a minute, though. He's talking about the saxophone, not the sax. S-A-X, not S-A-C-K-S. I need you to be decent at the S-A-C-K-S, not the S-A-X. I don't care about the S-A-X on the field. All right. Oklahoma Edge, Marvin Jones. It definitely makes like easy. I think he means life easy. Being opposite R. Mason Thomas at Oklahoma. With a guy like R. Mason pushing the pocket, I know I probably don't get as many double teams as the guy on the other side of me, man. Even watching him sometimes is just fun. How lanky, how well he can bend. Oklahoma edge R. Mason Thomas. I tell them the force equation. I tell them mass times acceleration equals force. So I'm not a 280 guy. I'm not a 265 guy. I'm a 250 guy. All I need to do is generate some more speed to generate more force. So a guy that's like 280 can generate more force taking one step in the ground, but I generate the same amount, maybe taking 3 or 4 steps. R. Mason is a dog that they probably won't draft because he's 250. That's pretty cool. All right, Clemson edge TJ Parker. We got two more. Relentless. Those guys, meaning the Lions, get after the ball, man. It's just the way they play defense. It's just fast and physical at every time. This is cap. This is cap. Come on, TJ. You cannot be watching the same defense that I watch every week. Come on, man. Those guys, the Lions, get after the ball, man. 9-8. 9-8. And need I remind you, 13. Because everybody has these stats. You guys may have heard the stat by a random chatter. That a team, that a regime, a quarterback and a head coach by year 5, if they have not won the Super Bowl, they will never win it. And this guy got famous all over the Detroit sphere with this damn stat that he keeps running around with. So I'm going to keep running around with this stat. 13 out of 17 attempts at holding your opponent below 21 points. The Detroit Lions failed to do that. They only did it 4 times. And that's why they were 9-8. And that's why we didn't make the playoffs. So TJ Parker is capping. It's just the way they play defense. It's just fast and physical at every time. It's not. Remember DJ Reed in the sprinter stance? Getting burnt? Remember that? That's not fast, is it? Nah, not fast at all. That's definitely a defense you want to surround yourself with. The way those guys treat the game with passion is just lovely. Brother, what defense are you watching? See, it's when people say stuff like that. It's like, look, man, it's a departure from reality. You can say nice things, but you don't have to lie. You're lying. It is a blatant lie. Our defense was booty butt, cheeks, rump. Our defense was ass. Our defense was 2 cheeks, a crack, and a hole. Do you know what an ass is? That's what our defense was. Don't be bigging up this defense, acting like it's something. Give me a break. Give me a freaking break. All right, Texas Tech defensive tackle Lee Hunter. It was amazing talking to those guys. I think he, as in Dan Campbell, has a lot of energy. I think he's cool, laid back. He's about his business. That's true, right? You see how defensive tackle Lee Hunter just told the truth. TJ Parker is a capologist. Lies, cap, stop it. Anyway, all right, let's get to your comments. What we got going on here? Detroit News has an article on their website about the TA situation. Yes, and that's what I was reading from. In case y'all didn't know, I did announce that at the beginning. The 8 being reported was watching on YouTube are the only ones I'm aware of. Yeah, but that just makes me look bad if you're saying I only got 8 people watching and it's not 8. Because I am on LNU and, simultaneously. So anyone found a center? Well, I'm sure they found one, but have they signed one? That's the point. That's the question. You need a gold day. What up to Tactical Sport? What up to Irv Gotti? It's all good. It's all good. TJ on sandwich duty. They were depleted. Tell me, other than the 15-2 season, that this defense has been good. I will say that they had probably the biggest turnaround of all in our first 9-8 season when AG had to simplify everything. We've always had issues with our defense. Remember, AG wouldn't run a spy, so we had problems defending mobile quarterbacks. And then when Kelvin Shepherd got in there, he would run a spy, and it was easier for us to defend mobile quarterbacks. But then somewhere along the way, we couldn't stop the run. And then we couldn't stop the pass. And then we were just getting our asses beat. And then the injuries happened, and we felt that, say it with me now, the vet squad. And who's the vet squad? Those guys are practice squad players. And what does that mean? They're professional practice players. And what do? They practice football professionally. And what are we talking about? We're talking about practice. We thought that the practice squad players or practicers could do the same things that Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch could do. We didn't switch a scheme. We didn't make an adjustment. We kept playing man coverage, and them boys was getting cooked. Our defense is ass. If AG is garbage, what is Shep? I'm sorry. Please enlighten me. What did our defense do under Shep? Go 9-8. We went 9-8. Okay. DJ Reed would have been better prepared if he would have lined up, turned around in a 3-point stance. He had to get in that sprinter's block. Resurrection Season says TA going to jail, man. Not if he's smart, which it wasn't smart for him to be participating in whatever he was participating in. But we talking about practice again. Practice. That's right. TA gonna need Diddy's lawyer. I recommend. Whoever Diddy's lawyer is, I recommend. Because that man should have been under the jail. Hey, listen. Look, if you have faith in Shep, that's cool. I don't have faith in a coordinator who won't adjust. And your predecessor had the same problem. And instead of you going, okay, well, I see what happened when we had all those injuries with AG in here. Now we got all these injuries with me in here. I have to do something different. All these people that are doing this, the next man up mentality and thinking that practice, again, let me spell it out for you. These are professional practice players. And what do? They practice football professionally. And what are we talking about? We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. You're on the practice squad, and you're expected to be able to do the same things that starters are able to do, which is not possible, which is why Dan Campbell said at the scouting combine, this is the first time that he has had a chance to sit down and look at the cut-ups and say, oh man, if we would have done this differently, maybe we don't run so much of this. Maybe we run more of that. Maybe we simplify things. Is it in their wheelhouse? Are these players able to do what we're asking them to do? And this is not something that the head coach should have to come out and say after a season where you went 9-8. And every week when people were injured and not able to play, and I'm sitting up here saying, you must change your scheme. You must adjust to the players that you have and stop thinking that practice squad players who are professional practice players who practice football professionally. What we talking about? We talking about practice. Those guys can do the same thing that all the other people can do that are missing. So if you have faith in Shep, cool. I hope I'm wrong. Right now, he's booty butt, cheeks, rump. That's all I'm saying. Peace out. But honestly, I feel bad for our defensive coordinator because Melvin has neglected it since he got there trying to build the offense to make the Goff trade look like he won the trade. Guess what? Zach J? Tyleik Williams was Shep's pick. Shep wanted Tyleik. Yeah. Yeah, Shep wanted Tyleik. I'm just saying. You gotta go back and watch Inside the Den. Shep wanted Tyleik. I was Shep. You had to have it. All right. You already know what time it is. Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they read in you? Snick, mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. And while I wait for you to get your mailbag question in, I want to remind you to go to this episode's sponsor, themockmachine.com. Sign up. There was an article about something that had a GMO, but I didn't read it because it's not my thing, and I'm not gonna, advertise somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Go to themockmachine.com, sign up, play the GMO. It's all free. Invite your friends to sign up. Share your room codes. Make trades, make cuts, restructure, right? Clear cap space. Sign free agents. Build your own Detroit Lions team. If you got friends who are fans of other teams, tell them to sign up. Tell them to come join you. Play together. See who can build the best team. Come on, now it's there. True, he also had to have Barnes. That is also a fact. That is also a fact. He had to have Barnes, and we paid that man. And so because we paid that man, we don't get no Anzalone. We've got no Anzalone. Go to Mock Machine and mock out with your. Never mind. Okay. I definitely wasn't going to read it if you finished it. Mailbag. How many people have actually watched Inside the Den? I have. I don't know how many other people have. I know you have. I don't know what the cuddle comment is for. Yeah. I've watched it. I know you've watched it. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who haven't watched it because there's a lot of stuff a lot of people don't know. You know, I don't know. Like I said, my Shep impersonation wasn't on point today. Yesterday it was spot on. I don't know what happened. I got to get back in my Shep bag. Pause. But because I could have did the Shep talking to Tyleek right now, but you know, I can't. It tells a lot about this regime. It does. It does. Just like it tells you that unless Dan Campbell is capping, unless he's being a capologist, he wanted Broderick Martin just like Brad Holmes. I'm just saying. I don't think Shep will find me, but it's okay. If Shep can't handle the criticism, he's in the wrong business, buddy. Mailbag, did you see the Melvin interview on Rich Eisen's show? I saw some of it. I didn't see the whole 16 minutes. If you want, I can watch all 16 of the minutes and we can discuss it tomorrow. I also seen that episode of Inside the Den. Yeah, he was like, I had to have you, you know. He was like, I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I get. Hashtag if you know, use the hashtag. I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I get. Give me some more baby oil. That was Shep. Shep all into the BM movement. So now before Shep became the defensive coordinator. So I don't know if he wanted it as well, but we didn't get any AG feedback on Inside the Den about Broderick Martin. Not that I remember, but you know, Brad said, me and Dan, we were so convicted on Broderick. I'm like, y'all should have been convicted of a crime, really. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Appreciate you. Yes. Smash that like button, subscribe, share with your peoples. You know what it is. Hashtag no did it. No, I don't think he got a haircut. He probably just has his dreads tucked. That if Shep cuts his hair, there will be articles, there will be videos, it'll be a big news event. Davenport and Rigshaw. Mailbag, can we get a Shep impression before you close out? I can't do it today. It's something happened. I don't know. I gotta go back and watch more Shep tape and get the accent, because my accent went to just regular white Southerner. It didn't go to the Shep one. So I don't know. I tried it in the beginning when I was talking about Terrion. Yeah, so I can't do it today. I don't worry. I'll study up on it. I'll try to give you one tomorrow. All right. Appreciate y'all. You know, Thursday show, gotta go. So once again, the Motor City Cats R&D back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you visit www.themockmachine.com. Sign up. Play the GM mode. Tell your friends to sign up. Send them your codes. Make your rooms. Get it done. We out. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.